Hello everyone, today's topic is we have in grammar transitive and intransitive verbs. Now let's get started. The first is transitive verbs. Transitive verbs usually, such kind of verbs need an object. For example, I bought a car. In this sentence the word bought transitive verb. Why? Because after this verb you can see a car. A car is direct object. I bought a car. And the next intransitive verbs usually cannot have an object. The baby smiled. This is smiled, intransitive verb. And the next formation. If you can look this slide, in this slide the first transitive verbs and their formation. At the beginning of the sentence, subject or pronoun plus verb and object. Intransitive verbs, they have their own formation. At the beginning of the sentence, subject or pronoun plus verb. Sometimes subject plus verb prepositional object or subject plus verb adverbial modifier. We can look through some examples. First, he washed the dishes. The word washed, verb, it is transitive verb because after this you can see the dishes. Anna works. In this sentence, no any object, that's why the verb work is intransitive verb. And other verbs and sentences you can try to read and try to understand which one transitive and which one intransitive. And some verbs can be transitive and intransitive. In the following sentences, you can also get information about some verbs are transitive and intransitive. The choir sang carols. In this sentence, sang transitive verb, and the next sentence, Peter always sings in the bass, intransitive. Because here, after the verb sings, no here object. And the next, she left her bag on the table. The verb here, left, transitive. I want to leave early, here intransitive. And the next table you can hear and some verbs, also some common verbs can be transitive or intransitive. Now in the first column you can see move, close, open, stop, do, wash, write. And the next column here transitive and the next column is intransitive verbs. Let's look in detail. Could you move your car, please? In the next sentence, the trees were moving in the breeze. In the first sentence, move is transitive and the next sentence is moving intransitive. Why? Because the first sentence, your car is object, and in the next sentence, there is no any object. And the next, close. Close your eyes. I have got a surprise for you. Here, your eyes is object. And the next sentence, most shops are here at 5:30 p.m. Open the window, it's too hot. The next, the museum opens at 10 a.m. The first sentence, open the window. The word open transitive, and the next sentence, museum opens at 10 a.m. Opens here intransitive verbs. The next is stop. She tries to stop her from leaving. Here is the verb stop and after it object her. And the next sentence, when the rain stopped, we went for a walk. Here, stopped, here intransitive verb because after this there is no any object. And other sentences you can read and try to understand. And the next slide, you can learn how can we memorize transitive and intransitive verbs. And the best way is you have to learn word combinations and short sentences. For example, he closed the door closed. He ate an apple, he eats poorly. He left his telephone, he left an hour ago. We played a game, he plays very well. You can look here and try to understand, and you have to learn by heart some word combinations and the short sentences. And this style and this strategy is very helpful to remember. If you can remember, we discussed last lesson the passive voice. and you learn some information about active and passive voice. And in this exercise is related to this topic. Now, if we use transitive verbs and this sentence can be changed into the passive. If we use intransitive verbs in our sentence and in this sentence cannot be changed into the passive voice. For example, we stayed in a hotel. In this sentence, for example, the verb stay, after this verb, there is no any direct object. That's why we cannot change into the passive. And other sentences also you can read, and if these sentences can be changed into the passive, you can change. And I think that our lesson is understandable. Now, bye-bye. See you later.